Thank you. Thank you for having me, Chairman, to the ranking member, and to each of the members here. It's an important opportunity, and I appreciate you hearing us out. I have three quick topics I'd like to address. One is the Indian school bus routes. Last year, dirt school bus routes proved impassable on multiple occasions, causing Navajo students to miss 11 school days. I have a county, San Juan County. It's roughly the size of New Jersey. It has one stoplight. A portion of the Navajo Nation is in this county, but this is a problem throughout the Four Corners area. San Juan County receives about $85,000 per year from the BIA to maintain roughly 258 miles of school bus routes. That number has stayed consistent over a 30-year period. Since 2005, San Juan County has spent $11 million of their general fund monies to maintain these roads on the Navajo Nation. The imbalance is quite severe. Navajo Nation children, their dropout rates are some of the highest dropout rates in the nation, and yet they're missing more than an average of one school day per month, just because they simply can't get to school because of how poor these roads are. And with some indulgence, I have some pictures here, may be tough to see on the television, but that's what they're dealing with on almost a monthly basis. Depends on when it's raining, when the snow is melting. And we've got a host of other pictures. Not only these kids get trapped there, sometimes spending the day and into the night, but the parents know that if it's rainy, they don't even bother to put them on the bus because they may get stuck there. And there have been horrific situations. It's been going on for years. We need some help solving it. You can't necessarily just go and pave all those roads either. That wouldn't necessarily be a prudent use of funds. But there are things you can do with gravel and other types of things to make them passable. The second issue I wanted to bring up is the Bears Ears National Monument. On December 28th, 2016, less than 30 days before President Obama left office, he created the Bears Ears National Monument, 1.35 million acres. This is bigger than Delaware, Rhode Island, Washington, D.C. combined. We have 5 national parks in the state of Utah. You could take all 5 of the national parks, combine them, and they'd still fit in this Bears Ears National Monument. The delegation, all 6 of us, wrote a letter to President Obama in April asking for a meeting with the president. He refused to meet with us on this issue. All the way through, we got less than 1 hour's notice that he was creating this national monument. Every single elected official at every level of government, other than the president, is opposed to this monument. Rebecca Benally, a Democrat from the Navajo Nation on the county commission in San Juan County, was opposed to this. The county commission is opposed to it. The state legislature was opposed to it. And both the House and the Senate, they sent a resolution to it. The entire delegation is opposed to it. The governor was opposed to it, and yet it still happened. And so we're asking that the committee seriously consider making sure that no funding for the Bears Ears Monument move forward. And finally, Mr. Chairman, with nearly 1,900 counties across 49 states face the expiration of a critical financial offsets for tax-exempt federal lands under their jurisdiction. Still recovering from the recent economic downturn, these counties depend very, very heavily on PILT payments, the payment in lieu of taxes to keep their communities afloat. PILT dollars allow local governments to provide critical health, education, culture, and emergency services. Particularly in my congressional district, where we have 2 national parks, lots of BLM land. We have the San Juan County that I've referred to a couple times. More than 90% is owned by state and federal government. Yet they have to do all the emergency services and plus the education budget. So we have some of the highest property tax rates in the entire state are in some of the most rural areas because there's so much federal land. And so we ask that the PILT payment be fully funded. The issues come up, and Mr. Calvert in particular, the chairman here, has been very helpful on this, but we do need your help in making sure that these funds are there, and they primarily go to education, and then they go on to emergency services. Those are the primary use of these funds, and we need them. And with that, I yield back. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Jason. By the way, I've been on those roads. Tom and I were on those roads just recently, about a year ago, and we're still have kidney problems because of the washborne effect of it. That was in the summer months. God knows what they're like in the wintertime. So we appreciate your coming by and look forward to working with you.
Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thanks. Appreciate it.